Gustav, thanks for joining us so much. First of all, kind of tell us where you came up with the idea of Goatlane, the name, and why you decided to get in this space.
Thanks for having me. Name of Goatlane is, as you know, goat, greatest of all times. That's the way we used to see on social media, tiger and etc. So that's and the lane is just a follow up on the goat, and that's it. I would say it's a good statement that I have on the shoe, and the goat actually, it's as you guys know, the goat has good traction, especially the mountain goats, and that's what we have on the shoe in the shoes as well. We have the regular shoe and the tour edition, and the grip and the traction is really good.
So what made you decide to get into shoes?
I like shoes in general. I would say sneakers. The sneakers trend has been big the last decade. I lived in Milan, Italy for a couple of years, and I found myself liking the sneaker look. Going on the golf course, as you know, that's been I like the icons, the Future Classic. They're really nice, and then they have a section of span of many years that it's been more of a hybrid of something that it's not a basketball shoe, but we want to be cooler. And there's been Echo have a shoe that's been nice, and Adidas had a few models as well. So I want to have go from the city, from the restaurant, from the job, and just enter the course and without changing the shoe. That's basically it. And it's not only producing a sneaker, it takes time. It took me 20 months, so it's not just a design and then you're good to go. That's the thought of it.
What kind of design process? I mean, what was the lead time in from, okay, I'm going to do this, to we've got actual shoes we can sell people?
It came. I was sourcing. I went to a Copenhagen sneaker show, and then tried to connect with the different producers, agents. I reached out to a few brands here in Stockholm, Swedish brands, sneaker brands, and they helped me out to connect with a few Portuguese producers. And then I actually found a good agent, and that helped me out. And it only took like 6 months to have actually trying out the shoe, but then you want to have the traction, you want to have the laces, you want to have the soles, and things took a bit longer than I thought. But if I knew it's going to take 20 months, probably I wouldn't do it in the first. That's the game that you play, I guess, when you start a company. It takes a bit longer than expected.
And what's your background that you came from to get into the golf shoe market?
I worked in finance for 10 years, so I'm absolutely not a designer, or didn't even go to designer school. I studied economics in the school in Italy, and so that was a big learning curve. I knew the design that I liked, and then you need to make a good shoe and try it out. So no special background in fashion, but I like shoes and good quality. And that's how we got here.
And how do you lean on? Do you lean on someone? Do you lean on a group of people, mentors, different folks, kind of in the design space that maybe kind of steers you in a certain direction, one way or the other?
Yeah, both. I would say. As a golfer yourself, you notice the quality, and you're quite picky on where you want to go. If you're talking golf balls or like clubs, in general, it's hard to decide. But for me, it was I have my brother. He played on the European Tour for a year, and he played a professional a couple of years as well. And he played in college. He won the NCAA, so I had a good mentor, and he helped me out. And I got a good group of friends that play a lot of golf that you can try it out, from like kids to older people. I mean, the foot is quite individual, so it's not hard, but it's not easy to get a good shoe, I would say. And then that's how it went. And at some stage you just need to release the shoe. I started off small. I did only 300 pairs in a batch, and then sent it out and sold it on the website. And then we made a few changes and come up with a new model tour edition is coming on one more in the coming months.
And so when did you present kind of the first version of this shoe to that core group of kind of golf friends and say, okay, here it is. Let me have it. Tell me what you think.
Yeah, give me the bad things. No, but it took. I would say it took almost 12 months to actually have a design. And this is, we ended up in COVID, as we all know, and so it took a bit longer than expected. But I went to the PGA show 2 years ago. I met some people. I'm just counting my head now because COVID messes up the years. But yeah, so I went
2020, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then it started off showing showcases to a group of friends in the US, and yeah, and then took me like eight more months to actually have a final product that I can release on the site.
And then who are some of your first customers? I mean, how did they find out about you? Where did you go to kind of get this initial batch of folks who bought the 300?
I forced my friends to buy the shoes. No, but that like the family golf, the golf is a close family. I don't know how to explain it, but it's you got your friends at the golf club, you got your friends playing golf in general, and then put it on a social media and just to push it out and tell friends to buy them and give some feedback and just to learn from that. So that was the final steps to launch the product.
You said you're going to make some tweaks based off of that initial run and feedback into the tour edition.
Yeah.
So what are some of those tweaks that you made?
I'm like, that's going down to really details, but I mean, I'm changing like the threads in the like a stronger thread that is not going to break in the heel part, for example. And then I changed the laces from like a little bit more stretch to it. I'm like shorten the laces. I did extra padding on the tongue, and then like tweaking back and forth to finalize even better. But I think it's a non-stop project is to just get it better. And then like golfers in general, we're quite picky, so it's always fun to make small adjustments to it.
As an entrepreneur yourself, are you always thinking about, well, not always, but is it kind of always somewhere in your mind you think about, oh, there's an inspiration or something, a note you could take or something for a future edition of the shoe, or even just how you're running your business?
Yeah, but I would say just on a brand that I think it was Fred Couples in '99 when he played the Masters. That was I think it was '99, and he played the Echo shoe, and it's like a sneaker that was not. I watched 96 Masters this morning on YouTube. I saw Greg Norman playing when Sir Nick Faldo won, and it was the old spikes. But I mean, this is inspiration looking at different shoes and different styles. I like this. What I like is that it's coming more and more smaller brands that want to be disruptive. The big disruptive player at the moment, that's quite easy to like. That's G4. They've been driven and been doing it great, and it's a big inspiration to see what they are doing. And they're doing it a different way in the content-wise in social media. They just want they're different in a good way for golfers, for the new generation to be inspired to. It's not as stiff as it might have been.
Have you connected with any of those kinds of brands personally? Either reached out to somebody or just kind of said, "Hey, like I'm new in this world, and I love what you do. Can you give me some time and advice?"
I've been doing that on actually not golf brands, but I do it in different sneaker brands, Swedish-based ones, and giving us some feedback. And that's more looking at different materials. But there's not as much brands that I'm getting inspired from in golf. I'm not saying that in a rude way, but I think there's a lot more to do in clothes and in sneakers, and that's the way I think we're going in the coming years. It's going to be different. love playing in a hoodie, and that's what it was Hatton when he played in the hoodie a year ago, and I think it was cancer from one of the courses. I mean, that's weird, I think.
Yeah. We talked about this a little bit before, that the shoes are made from Italian leather and they're manufactured in Portugal. And
Yes.
you were kind of explaining that to me, but that's something that, if you haven't worked in this business, that's something you just kind of have to figure out, right? So how did you figure out how we're going to source Italian leather, we're going to have it made in Portugal and be a Swedish brand?
Yeah, in general, you usually look into Asia because it's cheaper. But I mean, they want bigger batches and it's less controlled for like a small brand as Goatlane. And so I knew it's maybe just a small piece of luck that I know a few guys that have brands in Portugal with the manufacturer, and the good thing about starting your own business that there are other brands that are bigger than yourself. They are very helpful, and that's one thing I learned from actually the good entrepreneurs. Just help everybody out and try to learn from that as well, to inspire. But I mean, I think all fashion people know that Italian leather is good. All Italian material, they have a sense of fashion, and if you're from Europe and you know that the production, like Spain, Portugal, and Italian producers are really good, and it's that's how I went, and gut feeling is it's a good environment to have the production in.
And has been establishing and kind of cultivating those relationships been difficult during the pandemic, or has a lot of the stuff kind of been done like this over Zoom?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's been. I haven't actually been in the factory yet. We are not allowed to go there. I think they're opening they open it up a couple of weeks and then it's closed. And then the pandemic really hit. It was like now it's back to 12 weeks production time. It was actually 6 weeks. It went the other way. It's shorter production times, and that was because less brands actually try to expand. But it's been hard for them in Portugal, and especially it's been a lot of COVID, and hopefully I can go down and see the production. It's been weird to have been Zooming with Anna, my agent in Portugal for 2 years now.
And I've talked to other folks who have kind of started golf related businesses in the pandemic, and most of them have, like you mentioned, manufactured in Asia, and just the stories of them just trying to get to Asia in the first place. Just to get there to see somebody they might have met before is kind of staggering.
It is, and that's it's. I think that it's hard for a small brand just to start up a business in Asia, and it's a big barrier for at least for me. I felt it was a big barrier to just have a dialogue with them, and I mean, of course the production is going to be cheaper for me in Asia, but I don't know if the quality is as good, and Portugal is just a few hours for me, like 4 hours flight or 5 hours flight, so it feels close, and when you put a lot of time and money in your own business, it feels a bit better to have it just fly over.
And you can kind of position yourself and your brand as quality made, quality products, the entire process, instead of, okay, well, we've got a quality upper, but we made it in Asia. No offense to that market, but that's a mass produced market.
It is, and it's of course there were fantastic brands and fantastic products and tech products, and but for when you start off your own business in a small scale, I mean, the margin is going to obviously be better for me in Asia for sure, but it's less control, and it feels a bit safer to have it, especially since COVID hit. So I would probably not have my shoes, but then and logistics would probably get 200%, 300% more expensive, and the numbers have increased increased, and and the margins would probably be gone by then. Yeah.
Having that finance background that you do,
Yeah.
has that been a tremendous help to you in doing all the back leg work that you have to worry about as a business owner, but that no one's ever going to see on the front end, the projections and ordering and all those kind of spreadsheet based things that are just really critical to success?
And yeah, I would say it's probably I have some sense of looking at cash flow and all the payments that it is, like, all the admin things, and then it's I mean I've less experience in admin and in like e-com, so I mean you can pick the pieces from what I learned in the finance world, and hopefully it's going to be I applied it in a good way here in my business, and yeah, it's been helpful for sure. But I don't know, the big thing is the grind and the belief in the brand and what you can do, and hopefully my followers and my buyers is going to keep buying the product, and that's and deliver a good product for them to be proud of.
For marketing your product to a European market versus an American or North American market, have you seen differences in how those types of customers or golfers respond to certain types of messaging, and have you changed it based on the market?
Yeah, well, Swedish golfers in general, they're always asking about how they perform in the weather. Like this is some rainy days here, and in the US, I think there's it's a more cooler look in parts of the US. They are more like relaxed in their way in some parts at least. So I'm trying to brand it more towards the US market. They are more creative and more fun in their content. So hopefully that's the big market is in the US. So and that's why I want to be there. And if I can make it good for the US customers, for sure Swedish or European buyers going to buy it as well, and Asia hopefully.
And what have you found so far as a response been from our side of things, the Americans, in response to the shoes?
It's been good. I sounded surprised, but no, but I think that the feedback's been really nice, and it's always nice to get like a small brand, upcoming brand. You get DMs from buyers. That's the fantastic thing about the e-com, and you have the connection with the buyers. It's still like 99% guys, unfortunately. Hopefully the girls gonna come there on its way, but just to get a DM and like an email for saying, of course, some probably don't like the product, but they don't usually put it on an email. But just to get, there's always some criticism, I guess. But I mean, just to get a couple of DMs and email helps you and inspire you just to going forward and get bigger and better.
What's one thing that you've learned in all of this process of getting this started that you didn't anticipate?
Things take time and you need money. No, but yeah, but that was, I would probably say, things take time, and it's possible to rush things. Of course, you get the unicorns, one hit wonder, like it can happen really fast, but it takes time. Be patient and just grind it out, like you're trying to get your wedge game better. Just hit a few balls, just go at it, and be paid. Like I would say, look at in the production sense, have a sense of the planning, because it's not like if you get a big order, it takes about 3-4 months to actually, that you need to plan ahead, and I'm trying to be simple on the colors of the shoe, just not to have 50 colors, different colors. Just go a simple way, and you realize that's one thing. Like in Sweden, people buy white shoes, and in the US, the black leather is more popular. So that's what I learned from compared to the US and the Swedish market at least. But I mean, the patient is the big word here, I would say.
And for people who want to check out Goatlane, where do they go?
Yeah. For that's the e-com for at the moment, Goatlane.com. We have some plans going, hopefully doing the pop-up stores here and there, and hopefully some exciting collabs. A few golf clubs, I would say, but in the website is the place to be, and just a couple of business days and you have it in your hand. That's
Well, Gustav, thank you so much for joining us. It's really cool to talk to you. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
the time, and the best of luck with things moving forward.
Likewise. Talk soon. Take care.